I really wanted a PlayStation 4 when it was originally released. I tried everything to get one as quickly as possible. The local Best Buy was having a Black Friday sale and I stood in line waiting to get one. I was nowhere near being lucky enough to actually get one in this method. I then tried getting one online. As much as I wanted one, the people on eBay and Amazon who were reselling them were asking way too much money and I couldn't afford them. After several days of trying to do my best to find a way to get one, I had to come to the conclusion that it wasn't going to happen. It was then that I thought I came across a bit of luck. Going through Craigslist, I found that someone was selling their PlayStation 4 and at no more than the original buying price of the system. I, of course, was skeptical. I couldn't understand why they would do that. Also, I figured as in demand as the system happened to be that someone would have claimed it right away. I immediately emailed the seller and let them know that I was very interested and hoped that they still had it. I was surprised to get an immediate response that they still have the PS4 and would be willing to sell it to me. They asked for my address so they could bring it over. I was sort of hesitant and asked if it would be better to meet in public. I wasn't too keen on the idea of someone coming over to my house. He let me know that he was going to be very busy all day and that he couldn't keep an appointment in public. It would be much better if he came over to my house. I was still not really ecstatic about the idea, but I really wanted that PS4. I agreed and gave the guy my address. I figured it was safer than me going over to his place. This whole exchange took place about 9 a.m. I was so happy and really eager to get my PS4. My eagerness only grew as I began waiting for the guy to show up. Hell, I not only began waiting for him, I waited for him for a long time. Hours passed by and I began to think that he wasn't going to come. Around 2 p.m., I had gotten really impatient. I tried emailing the guy back asking him where he was. Previously, I had gotten very quick responses from him, but I didn't get any this time. Around 6 p.m., I had lost all hope. I figured that most likely he got a better offer from someone else and didn't want to tell me. I was disappointed, more than I can possibly even tell you. I couldn't even tell you how deflated I was. It's one thing to not have gotten the item from the store. I could have come to terms with that. But I was so close to having one in my hands and I didn't get the PS4. And that was the scariest thing that ever happened to me. Just kidding, of course. For the rest of the night, I kept looking around on Craigslist to find a new PS4 that was within my price range. I wasn't able to find anything, and before I knew it, I had wasted the entire day and the entire evening with this search. It was past midnight and I just had nothing to show for the day. I got ready for bed and that was when I heard something. At first I dismissed it thinking it was my imagination. Then I heard it again and someone was knocking on my door. I walked up to the door and looked out the window. There was a guy standing there and I asked who he was. He identified himself as the guy who had the PS4. He apologized for being so late and told me he had got caught up during the day. He asked if I had the money. I opened the door but kept the screen door closed. I told him I had the money but I didn't see he had anything with him. I asked if he brought the PS4 with him. He told me it was out in his van. He told me to go get the money and come out to the van with him and he would get it for me. I let him know I wasn't really comfortable walking onto his van and he told me it was alright. I looked over his shoulder and saw that someone was waiting in the van, and he had been keeping his hand in his hooded sweatshirt all the time while talking to me. There was something more than just his hand there. I told him I'd go get my wallet and then come back. He protested as I closed the door in his face and then locked it. I was too uncomfortable with this and then I went over to my phone to call the cops. As I did, I heard a loud hit on my front door. Then after a few moments, I watched the van drive away really fast. When I went to check and see if he damaged my door, I nearly fainted as I saw a knife embedded into the door itself. I was right that he had something in his sweatshirt and that I shouldn't go out to the van with him.